She still needs some cooking courses.
I need to go to Grand Park and cooking.
Put your clothes in the laundry. What did you think? Yeah, so they're drying. CC phone.
I have stage 4 cancer, so that means the original cancer that I had has spread to other places in my body and other organs. It's kind of everywhere now. So it's not the best news. It's probably the most, it's terminal, right? Because I don't have any benefits with my employer, like my family and I, we often do artwork, sewing, crafts, jackets, vests, moccasins, mitts. We can sew just about anything. Well, my mom anyway, I'm learning from her. And so yeah, we do raffles to fundraise because like I don't have any benefits. Like a lot of the time when I come for treatment, if I don't have time saved up, it's just leave without pay. And you know, I'm still a human, I still have bills to pay, I still have to eat, I still have a home that, you know, needs to be cared for while I'm away. So, you know, like you need to earn a livable income. And if I'm leave without pay and down somewhere for treatments, I'm not earning anything and I don't have any money, right? So these raffles that we do are kind of very helpful in that aspect where, so I'll have some money, not much, but I'll have some just, you know, to cover expenses. It's not easy to do all this travel and then be away, but you know, it's a necessary thing in my case. Like in order for me to live, I need to do these treatments. I need to go and travel and be away from everybody that I love, just so I can have more time with the people that I love. I was born in Yellowknife, and a day after I was born, I was custom adopted to another family. So my original biological family is from Delo, which is just close to Yellowknife, and then my adoptive family is from Litzelka. I grew up very traditionally. I was lucky to receive a lot of my traditional teachings from my grandfather and my late grandmother, a lot of my uncles and my mother. You know, like they brought me up in a world where we were learning how to live off the land and hunting and trapping and fishing. You know, that was an era where there was no navigation type of tools, right? You learn to use the stars as a point of reference to get you home. You learn navigation through, I guess, different points and different islands, or even there's cairns out in the Barrenlands that we know we have to hit. Knowing those reference points that are out there on the land keeps you safe. My grandparents grew up in an age where both men and women shared all of the work. There was a lot of encouragement, a lot of love and support there that I nourished it, you know, like I just was like a little sponge, and I'm like, okay, teach me how to, you know, sight in my gun. Teach me how to ride the waves. Like there's certain ways that you have to ride the waves, especially when you're in a storm. I love boating. I love being out in the East Arm and being able to fish, being able to make dry fish, being able to teach my kids all the good fishing spots, being able to bring them to different camping locations, other places that are really good for moose hunting, you know. Being able to share those experiences with my sons is something that I really hold very dear to my heart. My sons are the world to me. I often tell them they're the moon and the stars. As a single parent, you know, like it's different when you have 2 children and you're raising them by yourself. It's not easy. But I think I've I think I've done a good job, the best I could anyway. In Unshaken, we don't have permanent healthcare providers. Like, they come and go and they are ever changing. So not having, I guess, a consistent level of service there is kind of annoying. Having to explain your case to doctors, not doctors, but to the nurses there. I don't like doing that. But I'm lucky right now because the chemo team, the chemo unit in Yellowknife, anything that has to do with me and my cancer, they take care of me. The level of service in the communities is not up to par. You know, even trying to find out what kind of cancer I had, like way back in the beginning, you know, they told me, there's nothing wrong with you. You know, I had to get a second opinion, and once I got that second opinion, it was like, yeah, you have cancer. So that was really frustrating. Just recently, this isn't happening anymore, but the scenario was because like I have such bad bone pain, sometimes I can't walk. And so I had told my son Tanner to go to the clinic in Unshaken to go pick up my pain medication because I didn't pick it up in Yellowknife. And so he went to go pick it up, and then he came back and he said, they wouldn't give me your pills. And I said, why? They want you to call them and tell them to talk to you. And so I called. And I said, why won't you give my pain medication to my sons? The response that I got was, well, how much do you take? How often do you take it? And when do you take it? And they were very invasive questions. And so I wasn't having any of that. So I just called the chemo unit and told them what was happening. And now none of my medication gets sent to the clinic because that one nurse was trying to piecemeal my medication. And it's not their job to do that. You know, you get hit with challenges, you know, having challenges with medical travel, and, you know, sometimes there they don't understand what you're going through, but yet they expect you to fly the very next day after treatment. When you can't even walk, you're throwing up, you're sick, and they're like, well, we booked you for today. I'm like, well, I don't care, I'm not flying. Can't fly today, because there are adverse side effects after every treatment. It doesn't matter what it is. It's always something. If you don't have a voice, and if you don't know how to advocate for what you feel is a good level of service, and if you just accept the status quo, sometimes patients lose out, or sometimes patients are kind of lost in the stream of things and not treated very well. But I think because I've learned how to navigate some of those things, you just kind of, you learn from every experience, right? You definitely need to be an advocate for yourself, and it's good to have family members that also advocate for you as well. I've had such a crazy journey on this earth with all of the challenges I've faced. Going back to the land is kind of like, it's a healing sensation. It's something that's in your heart that you can't ever replace by any type of like medication or feeling. Like, you have to be out there to feel the power and to be connected with, you know, Mother Earth. It's something that I cherish very much, and for me it's healing. I don't get to go out on the land as often as I want to, just because I'm traveling for treatments and or I'm recovering from treatments. So that's why, you know, when I do end up out in the field or out on the land, I cherish every minute of it.